why is Trump doing this? Is it a bargaining tool for a grand trade deal? I mean, they already have 300,000. There's 1 million foreign students here of all different backgrounds. And what we see in the Ivy League about the anti-Semitic, anti-Israel from people in the middle, why are we doing this?
Trump's actions on tariffs and foreign students hint at a calculated strategy balancing economic and national security concerns. The presence of large numbers of foreign students, especially from rival nations, raises questions about intellectual security and influence on American institutions. This move could well be part of a broader negotiation lever in a complex global power dynamic.
What they're saying is that the president, to set a tariff as a tariff, needs congressional approval. But in the legislation, there are exceptions on various things, like the president can issue an immediate tariff if a country is dumping, and to protect a domestic interest or company or corporation that's a victim of that dumping, or if a country is asymmetrical in their tariffs and is waging a trade war and running up big surpluses. So what they're saying is that when Donald Trump issued these executive orders, his legal team came back and then tried to fit those executive orders into these various categories of exemption. And I don't think they think the exemptions were legitimate, because they were just saying he wants to go after India, he wants to do this, and then he makes up that they're dumping or they're asymmetrical, and he uses the exemptive clause. And that's what they're doing. And he can't go to Congress and get a tariff because of the filibuster. They will filibuster every single thing. They will use what they call the racist filibuster, and they want to end it, but they do not want to end it if it's a weapon against Donald Trump. I just got back yesterday, and I drove 440 miles, and I went on cross country the San Joaquin Valley, where there's a lot of trucks that use Manning Avenue very fast. And then I went along a total of 4 hours on I-5, and then I went through the 152, which is kind of dangerous, connecting to Gilroy, and then I went on the 101, and then I went on the 85, and then I went on the 280. And I saw a lot of truck drivers. And I'm not going to comment on their ethnic background, although statistically, I think Indian truck drivers are about 40% of California truck drivers and 20% nationwide. But the ethos, as I said with Sammy, is completely shot. And what do I mean by that? I am going down Pacheco at a sharp turn at a very steep grade, and you're in the left lane, and there's a whole line of trucks, and suddenly a truck gives you no signal, and he cuts into the left on a hairpin curve going straight downhill at 60, 70 miles an hour, and you're behind the second trailer, and it's weaving like it's dancing. It's scary. Or then when you go around a corner and they're going at the same speed that you are, and they cannot hold that truck in that narrow lane, and they start to drift into your lane, and you have a wall on your left side, and you have to make a decision. Do I stop? Do I slow down and get rear-ended? I'm going 65. Or do I get skid into the wall? Or do I just take my chances that I'll get bumped? And then you look into the truck driver, because if you're in an SUV like I am, you can see, and you look up. And it's fascinating. 1 out of every 4 or 5 of these guys either has a cell phone in his hands, or he has a little holder and he's hitting things right during the driving. And I don't know why the trucking industry doesn't self-police, because everybody knows this goes on. That the old idea that the middle lane in a three-way freeway was a temporary passing lane for the trucks in the right lane, and the left lane was an automatic ticket, is out the window. You see people that just stay in the middle lane no matter what. And then you see people in the left lane use the left lane for a passing. So when this particular trip, I had to go down the 41 because I had to take a detour, and I saw 3 trucks in a row, and they were like a Greek phalanx, 3 in a row. And you get on the I-5 and you're in a long wagon train of cars with a speed limit of 70 miles an hour and you're going 55 to 45, and then you look out and you see trucks just going in the left. It's only 2 lanes each way, and they just go in the left lane and they pass and they stay there, maybe for 4 trucks. A lot of them never signal. They just move out. And it's completely different than it was 10 or 15 years ago. And no one talks about that.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you.
I wonder if I said, I'm Victor, and I want to get a professional trucker's license, and I go into the DMV, and they show me the signs. And I said, I don't know what they are. I got 1 out of 12. And he asked me something, and I can't speak English. Are they going to give Victor a license? No. They gave the license because what used to be a disadvantage of being an illegal alien is not. And if you can say, I'll be very frank, if you can claim that you're not white, then somehow in the diversity, the DEI, equity, inclusion binary, you're on the right side of the oppressed ledger. And everything, that's the worst thing about DEI. It warps everything, and it destroys merit. Because I just bet you if some guy came into California and his name was Jimmy Bob Smith, and he had an Oklahoma drawl, and he was a 30-year trucker, but he went into that test and he did not recognize one. They'd say, Billy Bob or Jimmy Bob, you're out. And so everybody knows it. And, you know.
Yeah, no, the nature.
I don't I've never criticized the Trump administration gratuitously, but why in the world are we going to let in 600,000 Chinese students when almost every day there is a story about active Chinese espionage, say, on the Stanford campus? Today there's an article in the Wall Street Journal about the recruitment of students who spy for China. And then when you look at their parades and you look at their aircraft, you look at their artillery, you look at their armor, you look at their navy, it's all replicating the United States. Everybody knows that. And now with AI and robotics, why would you let 600, why is Trump doing this? Is it a bargaining tool for a grand trade deal? I mean, they already have 300,000. There's 1 million foreign students here of all different backgrounds. And what we see in the Ivy League about the anti-Semitic, anti-Israel from people in the middle, why are we doing this?
Tariffs remain one of the few immediate tools the executive can deploy against unfair trade practices, particularly when Congress is gridlocked. The debate over their legitimacy often obscures a deeper truth. America's economic competitors are aggressively pursuing advantage through dumping and subsidies, and responding requires nimble, sometimes unilateral measures. The real challenge, however, comes from domestic issues, like how workforce standards and regulatory policies are adapting to demographic shifts and evolving social priorities. Declining road safety in key transport sectors reflects broader questions about maintaining meritocracy amidst pressures for diversity-driven policies. Intertwined with trade and domestic management is the undeniable risk posed by foreign influence and espionage embedded in academic and industrial exchanges. Strategic patience and vigilance will be essential if America is to safeguard its innovation edge without closing itself off entirely. If you value honest analysis and real conversations, make sure to subscribe. Hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments. What did we miss, and what should we tackle next? Your voice makes this community stronger. Let's keep pushing for the truth together.